Hello and welcome back to Battletech Roguetech. I'm of course game operator and narrator Soul. You can see we're no longer over where we were in the last episode. Things have changed. We decided we're going to go ahead and get some cash because we had a whole lot of repairs to go ahead and do. Plus, someone went ahead and got themselves an imp 2, and we wouldn't mind building one of those. Now, for those who are subscribed to the channel, you may have already seen the notice go up on the board. Back in October, Roguetech Discord did announce that they were going to be doing a game-breaking update towards the end of November. And for those who've played Roguetech for quite some time, everyone understands how this one goes. You get certain seasons, you play for a bit, and then of course they come up with a new game-breaking update. Everything resets back to 0, then you start the new season again. So what's probably going to be happening here in the next week or so is we'll be closing out our current season of HHR and probably taking a week break or so and then getting right back into the swing of things once the update is released. Now, that's not saying there's not going to be any videos in the meantime. Of course there's going to be videos in the meantime. It's just going to be different stuff, like maybe some we just came off of which this is something I'm actually upset that I kind of missed, which was the Next Fest for Steam. Plenty of demos for new games coming up through there. I think we'll grab a couple of those and have a quick little run through, maybe a quick 30-40 minute review. You know, just try and do something a little bit different. I know there's been some calls for a couple different games as well. Maybe some Jaguar Alliance or what was it? I can't. Oh no! I screwed up. There have been some suggestions of other games that some people would like to see on the channel as well. So that would be about the time that we would go ahead and kind of sit down and maybe have a look at some of these other games. In very much the same way as what we were doing with the one-offs and maybe even the one-week wonders. We'll see exactly how things go on that one. It also coincides quite well, actually, with university shutting down for the year, so that's a bonus. I do enjoy that one greatly. Which doesn't mean I get my afternoons back or my evenings back for at least a little while, until January anyways, so we'll see how that one goes. But in the meantime, that's not what everyone's here for. We're here for mechs, and let's get into it. So there's a couple things that I have done in the background on my own, off camera. What I did is I brought back the Jaguar Prime. And the reason why I brought this back is because we have been running into duels, where the Heat Wolf would be, you know, in need of a partner, and the partner might either be a little slower, unable to keep up, or maybe focus more on having to do long-range support, not really being up there helping the Wolf while it's fighting. So what I've decided to do is that we're going to bring back the Prime, Jaguar Prime, and we've outfitted it with SRM6s, just the regular versions, and we've also equipped it with Deadfire. So what does that mean for damage output? It's 540 damage, medium range. It's not going to be an overheater, but it is a killer. That is pretty much what this is going to be. We gave it a supercharger. We got some BC computers in here. We got missile, some range, some gunnery and tracking to help out with that. Gave it a slick sweep and sensor sniper. And advanced optics Mark 1 so for the increased accuracy all the way up to what is essentially beyond the SRM6's range. So that's not too bad. We also gave it a range boost too to kind of help out a little bit with range brackets. But as it stands, this is just solely for duels. That's pretty much about that. That's about the only time the Jaguar is going to be hitting the dirt anymore. We also gave it some armored hips, that way we have case in the legs. If something does go wrong, you know, at least it doesn't blow up. Hopefully. But we'll see how this one goes. We do have the supercharger in instead of the mask, because we want the critical hit to hit the supercharger and the engine, not hit the location or damage the legs when it does crit, just in case. I'd rather lose the supercharger versus losing a leg full of ammunition. So that's kind of how that one goes. But either way, that's kind of nonsensical. It's sitting on the side. Both the Wolf and the Jaguar will be pretty much regulated to strictly dual roles. So aside from that, we do have our repairs that need to get done. Now, we all remember from the last video, Sarge got greased pretty hard in the Gauss Cat. Let's take a look at the damage, and that's it. That's it. That's what killed us. Or knocked Sarge unconscious. Like, I'm sitting here, I am confused. I am upset. But I'll get over it. Oh, trust me, I'll get over it. I'm more upset about the fact that we've actually don't have any... I believe we've run out of MRM improved. We got a half bin in MRM improved, and that's really about it. So what I think we're going to do is... we'll slap a double bin of MRM, regular ammo, into the Gauss Cat. It gives us 600 shots. That's our 10 alphas. And we're actually going to pull the last bin of improved out, and we're going to give him acid. That's only good for... well, still good for a couple shots. But this gives us at least another option in our toolkit to maybe assist if we ever wind up going against super heavies again, where we have the acid option to cause additional damage to armor. I think that's actually going to be very beneficial. So we'll go ahead and validate this. Now, shouldn't be too hard. The Annihilator. The Gausszilla. Ah, the Gausszilla. What a thing. What a thing. Yeah, center torso's greased. We kept the laser aim at, so at least that's the thing. We lost our Advanced Optics Mark III. I believe we have one spare. Lost a couple Gauss rifles when the torso went. And lost some ammunition and lost the C3 slave unit. So... we'll go ahead and do a repair. We've also lost the engine core, so we'll have to go ahead and get that fixed. We do have a 300. I did do some cleaning as well, which removed every single engine core we had under 300. Starting to wish I would have saved a 280, so that we could probably slide something else into the Gausszilla to maybe assist with a few things, but it is what it is. Engine core is in. We also need a new engine for the third time. We should probably do something about that. So what we are going to do is... we're going to slap some laminar on here. Durability is down a little bit, but damage reduction is up. You know, she takes some hits. And I think this is probably going to be beneficial. We'll see if we can fit everything else in here well, the way we want it to. With that in, hopefully we can. Now we need some Gauss rifle replacements. And unfortunately, that's not looking very good. We can probably slide our heat kit in as well. Get that in there so we were above 0 or back down to minus 30 delta. What I should do in order to make this fit, it is down to literally one space. Crap, it is literally down to one space. I don't really want to shave armor. Do we have a clan laser system? We do. That saves us a little bit more room. And what we can do is we can pull this one bin of Gauss. And slap a double bin in. And still be one spot shy and some tonnage too heavy for another slave unit. That is unfortunate. We have a defensive gyro up. XL is not going to do much. It's going to take up more room. Which, again, room we don't have. Might have to pull the Pharaoh. We'll keep the clan laser AMSing. Grab another Mark III. Pull that patchwork because we are saving some weight with the clan laser. Alright. Unfortunately, got no more Novas. I have an AR-12 sheath in there to save a little tonnage. Is it worth it? So we got 2 tons to play with. Active probe and... Oh, we do have a watchdog suite, which is better than what the sheath beacon would be. Brings us up to 99.4, so we still have a half ton. We have any half bins? We do. That's 10 for everybody. And we slap a half bin in. It's 11 alphas. It's not perfect. Maybe swap out some sensors too while we're here. What would work? We have our sensor sniper. Hmm. 10-15, or we do ballistics range and minus 50 ballistics weapon minimum. I don't think the Gauss has a minimum. No, it does. Okay. But an increase of 900 by 15%? Is that even worth it? Because that pretty much already reaches across the map. We'll give it sensor sniper. There we go, 99.9 out of 100. I think we'll call that one good. We'll validate that repair bill.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
Just because. And oh my goodness. Suddenly we go from 22 million all the way down to 16.8 right off the bat. And we haven't even hit the imp. Oh, the imp. Good old imp. What are we going to do here? So we do have some choices we could possibly do with the imp. One of those choices that I am thinking about is a railgun. Railgun. And while we're here, let's go ahead and slap. Oh, okay, I can't actually use that. Can I use that with the light railgun then, maybe? It does save us spaces. That's 275 damage versus 350, so it's 75 damage less. 1200 range. That's 1440 range. Optimal 720. That's optimal 600. I think that would still probably be decent. Plus it saves us a bit of tonnage for other weapon systems. I'm going to say sure, but we better not forget our core while we're here. It is going to dictate exactly what we can and can't do after all. As well as our engine. So this is a movable slot. Hopefully we can actually still add our turret mount. That's a negative. Negative all around. Let me see if I can cheap this out. That is a cheap all out. Ah, well, that's unfortunate. All right, so that leaves us with not really as much tonnage as we would have liked. Mainly because I don't really have much for super heavy endo. Never really even thought about grabbing super heavy endo before coming out here and trying to build some super heavies. That's 100% on me. We do have Pharaoh, which gives us, you know, back up to 30 tons of weapon systems we can install. Now the question arises as to how we're going to approach this. We're at a -9 delta already. Let's slap a heatsink kit in there. Let's do a defensive gyro as well. Right, I need a super heavy. The super heavy gives us an additional 4 tons. So 34.2 tons in total to play with. Don't forget your ammunition souls. You need that. All 3 bins. Doesn't give us full 10 alpha, but I don't know. If we're punching at 275 for pinpoint, not really much of a need for that. And the other issue is what comes down. Do we do PPCs? Entirely possible we could do it. Could also run TSEMP guns. Little short range. That doesn't really make much sense. We're going to be super slow for the next little bit. What's our movement at? 2 and 4? Yeah, 2 and 4. So we are going to be back line with the imp. Not something a lot of people were hoping for, I understand. Well, that's the cores we got. We're already at 13 million repair. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is going to be expensive. What do we look at that for PPCs? If I slap 4 on? Heat efficiency is down to 185. Hey. We can do Mark II optics. Exchange a double plus. That brings us up back to where? 137. It's 56 heat. Now, there was some talk, too, about swapping on this command console. And taking this out and putting it on the Cyclops. You know, it's an option. It's 10 tons, so it's not really going to fit very well on the Cyclops. If you want the Cyclops to have next to no weaponry. I think we'll leave it here. I think it takes up room, but I think unless we run into a situation where it might be better just removing it, I think we'll run with this for a bit. So, our heat efficiency, 137, long range damage, 575. That's pretty respectable. Medium range, 575 as well. Cooling. And that just finally moved a pip. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, we're not really dealing with a whole lot here. 101 heat. So there's our weight limit. So now we got to start looking for ways we can trim this down a little bit. Now, we do know movement is 2 and 4. Let's try 360. Still 2 and 4. How about 350? 2 and 3. So 360 is going to be our lowest we can go. Still leaves us with about 4 additional, well, 3.6 additional tons for heat sinks, which is not going to be enough. If I had more protos, this might be a better option. So we look at that heat efficiency right now. 89. with 8. Let's swap out that kit. So, with the proto kit and 8 heat sinks. $61. Ooh. Oh yeah, we can get more protos if we strip out the Nova. We can get a lot more protos. Well, additional. What is 8? We strip out the Nova. Hmm. And then going to, there is the question of why don't we just run a railgun and fit it with ER mediums for when guys get close. Or some other movement abilities. We do have cooling pods. Unfortunately, we have to activate them. For 5 damage and stability damage if they explode. Not ideal. And we'd have to use that every 3. Let's pull these real quick and see what the computer does with our internal heat sinks. We are on prototypes. We can fit 4. That only brings us down to 45. No battle computer heats. So even that wouldn't save us. Could do plasma cannons. Like slap 3 PPCs on it. Pull one. And then we still need ammo for it. And honestly, plasma cannons work great in conjunction with an overheater, which we do not field for super heavies. Mainly because their cooling is just too great. What else can we do? Let's see. We got binary lasers, heavy lasers, ER pulses. Range is terrible on these, though. You have some large pulses. Somewhat better. A little less damage, but significantly less heat. Tonnage is a bit much, though. Maybe that command console coming off here might actually be good. Oh! 10 tons on everything else but the imp. Okay, that's nice. But that only gave us back about 6.386 tons. Or 7 tons. Not ideal. That brings us up to 608 for damage, too. Ugh. Well, if we can't run it, we can't run it. We don't want to be in this position where we're looking at it that way. I don't have enough patchwork in the world to fix that. This is where super heavy endo would come in really nice. We just don't have it. I don't know if that would even be enough, though. So, here's the big kicker. If we pull this, brings us back down to 533. Or do 3 large pulses. They're all 6 tons. Maybe even ERP might be too much. ERPPCs might be too much. What do we got for your large lasers? These pulses are 57 damage for 27 heat. Ah, 55 damage for 45 heat. 2 tons lighter. More heat, though. So around 550. With a little bit more tonnage for heat dissipation. And I got an exchanger double plus up there. What am I looking for? I am looking for... That's for autocannons. And I would love to use PPC capacitors, but these increase the heat by 30, so it's like, yeah, 25 damage for additional 30 heat? No, thank you. Can this be used with a rail rifle? No, it's incompatible. Yeah. Incompatible. Shoot. I don't really want to bring it down too much, but... Truth be told, Get rid of the prototype kit sink, heat sink that was down to 41. Fan kit. Bring in 8 again. $67. Well, you know, we are bringing in a new mech. So maybe removing the supernova might not be that bad of a deal. Just trying to think, just trying to think. Might actually be the right call. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I will make a quick cut here. When I return, we will have everything off Supernova. Be right back. Alright, so to become neutral with this kind of weapon setup, with 570 overall damage, and I still don't have the ammunition in. Oh, that's what I forgot. I need 6.3 additional tons. Well, yikes. Isn't that a thing? Not really gonna work, is it? Again, if we find some super heavy endo, probably will. Because then we'll be able to gain that 6 tons back. In the meantime, not gonna work. So we're gonna have to do a different take here. Which means we're probably gonna wind up returning the protos back to the supernova. Switch back to clan, maybe drop another... Probably drop another laser system here. Might be able to hit cool with the clan setup here. Stop putting in the arms! There we go. Okay, let's try this one more time. But 4 internals, we are going to need it. More than likely. What are we sitting at here? 3 heats. So this leaves us at a delta of +2, long range 515, which is still impressive. Again, mostly because of that railgun. It's workable. Is it the system we want? No. Not yet. This would be something that would need some time, special equipment for. But again, and here's the big kicker, what does having this imp mean for us? It means we have access to super heavy duels. Which means we can actually start farming some super heavy parts whenever they show up. Which is great. No, I will take it. Even if it is a little warm. That's perfectly fine by me. It has AMS, has optics, It has a terrifying weapon system. Pinpoint 350 damage weapon system. So that is great for punching through heavy armor. As long as it hits. And if we get super heavy missions when we go back to the planets, well, even better. So we will validate this. Oh god, that's 13,272,443 C-bills. Everybody's eating space ramen for the next little bit.
Logged and noted.
And we still have enough to actually pay the bills for the month. That's not too bad. We're gonna head back to the mech bay. We're gonna go ahead and put the heat sinks back in the supernova. It was a good little test just to see. And I think we're better off for it. Now, granted, we could have collapsed the supernova entirely and taken a lot of parts out of it and added them to us, to our own individual. Like, say, for example, we could have pulled the advanced targeting out, could have pulled all the battle computers, the heat battle computer for one. I think we can find another, and the reason why I don't want to pull the Nova or shelf the Nova yet is the Nova is actually a decent mech. It is. It's a good unit. But we can find... What's the word for it? We could find better stuff out there that we can fit into the Imp and keep the Nova running for other missions. To me, that I think is going to be a good enough reason. What do we got on the dock here? We got 12, we got 9, and we got 2 3s. Alright. Well, 19 days left. We got 3.6 mil in the bank. I guess we better hit the road and see what we got for next episode, I guess. Might be a better option. So let's go ahead and leave Solaris. Where are you? Ilsham. Borodad. There we go. We'll swing by here on our way back. 29 days. 175,000. We got the cash. Let's hit the road.
Calculating course now, Commander.
And before anyone else freaks out, I already did check out the store before the episode, so it's my bad for not recording it. I did pick up a Mark III optic. Oh! We are going to have to buy the supplementary drug on this one. Mainly because I didn't want to spend the $300,000. Sorry, guys. It's, you're all expendable. It's just kind of how that one goes. If I still had $22 million, sure.
I wrapped up that job you asked for, Commander.
Not exactly big on the board, though, at the moment. That's right. We're almost to core done. Pay our bills, and away we go. 468,000 left in the bank. Not the worst thing in the world. Plus, we should have plenty of time to do a couple missions. Get them bank accounts back up into the black instead of the red. I hope there is a super heavy we can possibly line up for next episode. Because we've been here for running for quite some time already. Holy cow! I guess this is going to be another shop day.
Waypoint reached, Commander.
Let's see what's in the store. Anything cool? Anything exciting? Battle armor gear. Beagle probe extended. Not bad. 440 core for 7 million. Well, you don't take an IOU, so I can't buy that. You know, I'm sitting there saying that we might be able to salvage a 440, but at the same time, we might have to wind up buying it. And if we get a 440 core, then we are certainly downgrading the weapon systems on the Imp. There'll be a full overhaul. If she starts sprinting, then she's going to be a up-in-your-face tower of death and destruction. But we can't make her sprint just yet. Alright, swing by the command center. What is on the docket? What do we have available? Anything cool? Anything exciting? Looks like we got a super heavy duel. Who's this against? He's against the government. Well, I can't think of any better test than this wonderful little setup right now. It is for Red Skull. But there's only going to be 2 of them. And this one actually might have to be for... One out of 4 picks. Yep, 1 out of 4. You can do 1 out of 7 too. Not going to help us in the money department. What else was available for jobs? Oh yeah, there's plenty of other jobs we can do for cash. Pay the bills. Plenty of others. Let's try it. So ladies and gentlemen, this is actually going to be my mulligan. Because I will be fielding the Uber and the Imp. Imp's untested, and the Uber, I do not believe, has the firepower to actually stand up in a duel, but we'll find out. Full salvage. Or wait in cash. If this works, this works. If it don't work, well, it don't work. I think the Uber might actually be in a good position. Because I think it was... This had better be weight. I think it was weight, wasn't it? Well, it's not a red triangle. Yeah, it's just weight. We'll try it. But like I said, this is going to be my mulligan. So if you hear Chris screaming and crying in the background... it'll be expected, I guess. I don't even know which pilot would be good for the Imp. You know what? What do you get at 40? So we're at 20, you get +2 initiative, +2 tactics. I might just grab Orianos here and throw him in the mech. Just for the duel. And I know he doesn't really have the skills for it, but he does have the ability to bring us up all the way to 40 affinity right off the bat. And that 20 is very nice. Especially for super heavy fights. Let's try it. Let's see everybody planet side. Alright, so we are going to have to focus our fire heavily on this one.
Interface initiated.
And there's no cover. I don't know who we are going to be facing yet. This should be fun. What are you guys? You guys are scary is what you are. And I'll try and use the rock as hard cover here.
On my way.
Okay, I guess they'll get eyes on this turn. So that's one. All right. So we have our target.
Commander?
Right there.
On my way.
And they're both here. Hey, where'd the second one go? Oh, God. Target moved. And I have no sensors. Of course I don't have sensors. Why would I have sensors now? That is 480 armor. 504 armor. And 60% damage reduction.
Commander, I'm wounded.
And hey, why not throw in a command seat fail? Ah!
Yes, Commander.
This Mulligan is 100% needed.
I copy.
I'm only seeing the one. It's like, is he just around the corner just enough I can't actually see him? Wow. Do you have no sensors too? You. That's what I think of you. It did nothing. Really? We're going for melee? Oh god, it actually worked.
Battletech down.
And just like that, robot is dead. Because screw me, right?
Not much armor left in that location.
Tell me your tonnage. I must know. You got obviously you're 200 tonnage. I can't even get a read on you.
Good to go.
Railgun will not fire in melee.
I copy.
And we are too close. And we have increased chance of knockdown. I see. Boom. Oh, we are going to have to pick and choose our duels, I think. And get way better gear. Oh, that's a mulligan. That's such a mulligan. Yikes. Good gravy. Well, we had to try. Wasn't the best out there. Those quads can really pack on weaponry. Holy cow. Yeah. It cost us money. Roguebot crapped his pants so hard that he had to... They passed out. And we tore off the side of the amp. So... They are potentially nice mechs. We just don't have them set up right for duels. That's all. So that's where the mulligan comes in on that one. We certainly need different gear and a different setup if they're going to operate independently. But as it is right now, We just dipped our toe in the super heavy side of things, and we are not ready to be squaring up with the real super heavy 200 tonners. Oh, that's all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Mulligan, obviously, and revert back and load up to the other game. But I might as well go ahead and call her here. We were about an hour in, according to the recording session. Obviously, I'm going to trim it down a little bit. But that was the build episode, and that was the test episode. So obviously, like I said, we're going to reload. We're going to pretend that duel never happened. It doesn't exist. Roguebot did not actively crap himself so hard he passed out. And the imp is 100% intact. And then we'll just try on from there. Keep an eye out for some good gear and call her good. In the meantime, if you enjoyed the episode and at least had a laugh, don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to support the channel at all, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment on down below. It does help fight the algorithm. And every little bit does help. And hey, guess what? She's free. In the meantime, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.